What's going on, guys? Jordan here with the deck box, coming back to you with another tabletop match. And tonight we're going to be looking at two decks, two big basic decks is what we'll call them. On the left-hand side, you'll see myself playing Tapu Bulu. Right-hand side, we have Erica. She will be playing her Volcanion Ho-Oh Turtonator deck. And of course, both these deck lists will be in the description. The links to those will be down in the description. You can check those out. You can see our full 60-card lists and why we play what we play. So we're going to be having those two face off tonight. I believe I take two mulligans here, so I'm going to talk through this first part while we're shuffling. Do a little housekeeping, I guess. Few things to update you guys on. First of all, the second match of this, or second game of this match, actually cuts off right when, I mean, there's like 1 or 2 turns left. So it will cut off, and I will be sure to let you know the results of that match, what happened. I do remember. However, you will see an abrupt cut there, just a heads up. In the third match, because we weren't paying attention, we actually ended up switching sides at one point. So for the third match, I'll be on the right-hand side. Erica will be on the left. So, and I'll remind you guys of that whenever it gets to that point. Just making sure you don't get too confused. And then the last thing is that actually my wife and I, 2 days from when this video goes up, we are scheduled to have a baby. So it's going to be a little difficult for Erica and I to hang out and record tabletop matches and things like that. So we may have a little gap there where we don't have tabletop matches or IRL things between the two of us. However, we are going to do our absolute best to get out some PTCGO. We've both been having some difficulties recording that, but we're going to do our best to get those out for you guys so we don't miss a day. So without further ado, we're getting in this game. Looks like Erica started with her Ho-Oh and a Brooklet Hill. She's going to get that Volcanion out there. Does have that dual typing with water and fire. And I'm starting with just the Tapu Bulu. Something to note in this deck is that Ho-Oh can hit some solid numbers against Bulu, because Ho-Oh for 4 energy does hit 180 damage with Phoenix Burn. You guys will have to excuse, I'm not sure if you can hear the baby crying in the background. My son's upstairs with my wife, so he might be crying a bit, but we're going to work through it. Anyway, so it does hit 180 damage, Ho-Oh does, with that Phoenix Burn, which of course perfectly KOs a Bulu. And so that will be one of the difficulties for myself. However, with Phoenix Burn, you cannot attack the next turn with that attack. So that'll be the difficulty for Erica. And yeah, so done explaining that. She has gotten her Kiawe with her Tapu Lele. And I imagine after she plays the rest of the cards from her hands that she wants to, she will be placing those 4 energy onto her active Ho-Oh, ending her turn. She's going to put the float zone on the Ho-Oh. That way next turn she can follow up with an attack. I'm sorry, 2 turns from now she'll be able to follow up with an attack after she's attacked with her Phoenix Burn. And she went for 5, and I corrected her. It is 4. Excuse me. So the good thing on my side is I also hit that perfect 180 with Nature's Judgment. However, Ho-Oh, excuse me, has 190 HP, so I will have to get a Fighting Fury Belt or a Choice Band to be able to hit that number. Preferably in this match, I will be going for the Fighting Fury Belt, so I can hit that perfect number, and I can increase my own HP, preventing her from taking 1-shots against me. So here we see an Escape Rope played. Erica's going to put her Volcanion into the active. I attach the Fighting Fury Belt. I Field Blower away the Float Stone. And I actually should have Field Blowered away the Brooklet Hill as well. That was a mistake on my part. Play the Sycamore. And let's see what I get from this hand. I'm looking to get a bench Pokemon so I don't get benched. If she gets an energy this next turn, game over. So I got, let's see, it's a Coco and a Bulu. So not terrible to start with. I would have preferred to get a Grubbin out to be able to get my Vikavolt up and running, but that's okay. We work with what we got. And so she uses that Brooklet Hill again. See, I should have taken that out. Had I done it, it would have slowed her down a bit. And of course, those Volcanions are crucial in this deck to allow her to steam up to hit perfect numbers. So even if I do have a Fury Belt on, she can still just steam up a couple times and take solid KOs. So definitely an all-around consistent and great deck that Erica runs. Has, I believe it's 14 fire energy. So she's guaranteed to hit those energy so that she can steam up. Excuse me. So she can steam up so that she can attack. And I believe she runs a Starmie line as well, allowing her to get those back from her discard pile as long as she just discards a card from her hand. So let's see what she goes for. She does Field Blower. She gets rid of my Fighting Fury Belt. She's going to pay the retreat cost, and she's going to take that first knockout with Ho-Oh here. And this is what I'm talking about. Hitting 180 just out of the gate is insane. So Ho-Oh, if I can take down Ho-Oh, I actually have a solid shot at this matchup. Of course, we don't have weakness on my side, even though we are grass Pokemon. All the Tapus have no weakness, so keep that in mind when we're doing our math on here. It's going to seem weird that we're not adding weakness for grass, but that is the reason why. So we get another Tapu Bulu down, which is good. We needed those. We have 2 Grubbin, so we're starting to get set up. We're actually, in my estimation, about a turn behind on getting that bench set up. It should have been like that turn 1. We should have had our Bridget. However, we just had a rough start, so we're kind of slow on the get going. But it looks like, what did we add? It looks like a Choice Band was added to Bulu. I was able to use Instruct from Oranguru there and just pass. So now we'll see how Erica answers. Of course, she cannot attack with her Ho-Oh because she just used the attack last turn. I actually think that she just can't use Phoenix Burn. Yeah, she just can't use Phoenix Burn during her next attack. So she can use Sacred Fire, and that attack allows her to do 50 damage to one of my Pokemon. So if she wanted to, she could start weakening up a Bulu just in case I do get a Fighting Fury Belt on it, and she'll still be able to hit that number. Or she could target down something else. Her choice, obviously. But it's great. It gives her options. So let's see what she opts to do. She did NS. She's going to get 4 new cards. I get 6. And we see a Max Elixir. And she hits it, puts it on that bench Volcanion. Starting to get that set up to also be a secondary attacker. Something to keep in mind in this matchup as well. So typically fighting Pokemon are of course weak to water. However, with Erica playing Ho-Oh, Ho-Oh is weak to lightning. And that is actually relevant in this matchup because of course Baby Coco could use its other attack. It's mostly known for Flying Flip. That spreads 20 across the board, which with a Choice Band could actually do 100 to the active Ho-Oh. However, that's not what we're talking about here. Its second attack, it can hit for 100 damage base, and with that weakness, it can one-shot a Ho-Oh. So keep that in mind. It's something we could use at some point in the game, and of course we do play Vikavolt, so it could also take one-shots against Ho-Oh as well. We see an Aether Paradise Conservation come down, reducing Erica's attacks by 30 to my basic grass and lightning Pokemon. I believe that was another, is that a Choice Band? I believe it was a Choice Band on the Bulu that just came into the active. So I should be swinging for 60 on the Turtonator. It may have been, it may have been a Fighting Fury Belt. I can't tell if that says 40 or 60. Sorry, guys. Either way, just trying to weaken him up a bit. If I did 60, then I'll be able to attack him and take a KO by doing 120 and not having to discard any energy. So that would be very relevant. She brings Ho-Oh up and just takes out my Bulu. That 180 damage is just insane. So we have to find a way to deal with that. Otherwise, our game could be over within the next couple turns. And we do see an Ultra Ball. And getting rid of a Bridget, won't need that anymore. And I think a Field Blower. Yeah, a Field Blower, okay. And there I paused for a second, making sure that she wasn't able to hit me for the right number on Bulu because of Aether Paradise Conservation Area. However, I believe she steamed up. So I do get a Vikavolt, so that's awesome. That's going to help me big time. I use its ability, Strong Charge, to get the grass and lightning energy. And I imagine I'll just be putting it onto that Tapu Bulu with either the Fighting Fury Belt or Choice Band attached. I can't quite see it. I believe it's a Fighting Fury Belt. So he will be able to actually take a KO on Ho-Oh because, of course, Tapu Koko has free retreat. So we get another energy attachment. We choose to put on the Vikavolt. Just in case she gets another Ho-Oh up, we need Vikavolt ready to attack. And yep, I discard my energy, take the Ho-Oh down. And that's a huge turning point in this game in any matchup against Volcanion. If you can get rid of their Ho-Oh, that's just hitting ridiculous numbers. You're in a good spot. So she brings that baby Volcanion up. And, of course, she will be able to use Power Heater, attaching fire energy to 2 bench Pokemon. And I believe she did 20 to me as well. Oh, no, that's right, the Stadium in play. Forgot about that. Glad I pointed that out on camera. So we have an Ultra Ball, and I may be debating whether or not to actually do that. Alright, there we go. So I get rid of my Aether Paradise Conservation Area, and can't quite tell what that is. It looks like a supporter. It may actually be a Pokemon fan club. And the reason we play that in this deck, guys, is because we do play a Tapu Koko GX, and we can't search that out with a Nest Ball because then its ability, Arrow Trail, would be useless. So we do play the Pokemon fan club to search it out, bring it down, and use its Arrow Trail ability in the right situation. We Sycamored, we get a Grass attachment, and now I can see it is a Fighting Fury Belt attached. We use Strong Charge, and we're able to take a knockout on this Baby Volcanion without having to discard our energy. Using the Fighting Fury Belt in that situation was great because we're taking the perfect amount of damage and taking the KO. So we now are getting closer to kind of an even game at 3-2. And she brings up her Volcanion that has 3 energy on it. She grabs a Tapu Lele. Let's see what she grabs with that. Looks like a Sycamore. So she's going to be able to dig through some more of her deck, discarding her hand, grabbing 7 new cards. And now what could end my game for me would be, let's see, she can steam up 3 times, which would put her damage output at 220. Nope, that wouldn't even end the game because of the Aether Paradise Conservation Area. So she'd have to get a huge combination with Field Blowers and then the 3 steam ups. So we'll see if she can hit that. She has played through quite a bit of energy, of course, and she doesn't have her Starmie line down. So she gets rid of my Fighting Fury Belt, weakening me up. So she can hit for 140. However, it goes down to 110 because of that Stadium in play. So now, if I can take her Volcanion down, I'm actually kind of in a better spot because she doesn't have a secondary attacker set up. It'll take a couple turns to get her other Volcanion set up, and if I can keep hitting the right numbers, I'll be able to take the game. And of course, that active Volcanion cannot attack 2 turns in a row. So we'll see how this plays out here. We're recycling our energy back in. We need those for our Strong Charge. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Alrighty. It looks like I'm taking a little bit of time to figure out the perfect number. She does have the Fighting Fury Belt on her active, which makes it a little difficult for myself because I can't take the KO, making it a 2-shot game against something that I should be able to take with 1 shot. So we'll see what I choose to do. And I attach a Grass Energy to my Vikavolt. I can actually use Vikavolt to attack for 150 damage, which may not be a bad play because Erica will only take 1 prize KOing Vikavolt, and she can't even do that with 1 shot unless she steams up. So we'll see what I opt to do here. I may just be setting it up as a backup. So we do see an N. Erica will go down to 2 cards. I will go down to 3. So I'm trying to slow her down as much as possible and potentially get a Field Blower to get rid of that Fighting Fury Belt. Alrighty, let's see what we get from this. And I think I saw a Charger Bug. I could be wrong about that. That really won't do us much good. So I do use my GX attack to heal off that damage, do 150 to her Volcanion, because of course I will be one-shotting it either way. But this way, next turn I don't even have to discard my energy to take the KO. So, of course, she can't attack this turn. She may choose to pay retreat just to get her Volcanion out of harm's way. However, that would just put one of her other Pokemon at risk and still keep her Volcanion within 1-shot range. So we'll see what she opts to do. I can't remember if she's played all of her max elixir. She plays a Guzma. She slides a Turtonator into the active. And she passes. She's just trying to stall a bit, see if she can block me up. However, we do have that strong charge ability now on 2 Volts, so we may actually be able to get Ringaroo out of the active. And I use my heavy ball. I'm just digging through, looking at my deck, see what's in there. So let's see. So I do strong charge, attaching the lightning, and do I have the grass? Okay, it looks like I chose not to attach the second because I had one in hand. Okay, so retreated a Ringaroo, brought Vikavolt to the active, and I chose not to attach that other one from the deck, I imagine, because I might need it later. And if I already had one in hand, it really didn't make a difference. Took the KO with Vikavolt. She slides Volcanion to the active. So now we'll see what happens this next turn. And she put down a Rescue Stretcher. Yep, Rescue Stretcher for a baby Volcanion. And she's going to max elixir. She did have one left over. She's going to attach to her baby Volcanion. And what she actually did there by putting down that Volcanion, she actually gave me another fairly easy target to take out if I can get my Bulu up there. She plays an N, so I'm going to go down to just 1 card. She will have 2. Really what I'm looking for is a Guzma or an energy attachment. However, I think there may only be 1 or 2 left in my deck. If I just get one of them, though, I can strong charge and retreat the Vikavolt, take the win. So let's see. She attaches a fire energy to her bench Volcanion. Just digging through my discard just to see what's going on. And you guys can kind of start to see how these decks, you know, they do a lot of the same things as far as hitting the same numbers, taking the same kind of KOs. And they have to go through quite a few resources, but they can do it fairly quickly. So it's really a matter of, you know, who's going to do it first. So, okay, we do get the energy attachment. We strong charge, and if we had both, we would take the KO with Vikavolt, but we don't. So we're actually just going to attach the energy, and we'll be able to retreat. Oh, no, we did just decide to go with both. Oh, wait, no, that was in my hand, I believe. Either way, we were going to have that game. So I do take the first game actually being down 6-2 very early in the game. But, guys, that was about a 16.5, 17-minute game at 1.5 speed. So that was a very, very long game. In real life, let's see, that would have put it at, oh gosh, like over 20 minutes. So pretty hefty game. Took a little bit of time. It wasn't a quick one-and-done kind of thing. So definitely an exciting match to see, especially that comeback at the end, being down 6-2 and just coming back and taking things. So you can definitely see that in this matchup, it's really a matter of who's going to get set up faster, and then who is going to keep their resources around. Because, of course, on Erica's side, she really does not want to pay retreat costs. If she does that, she's losing energy. And if she doesn't have her Starmie out, there's really nothing she can do to get it back other than playing items and supporters, which typically you don't always want to have to do. So I take another mulligan this match, starting off pretty similarly to the last game. So we'll see if I can actually get a quicker start in this one, and maybe make something happen a little bit faster. Erica, of course, getting her basic right off hand. Her deck is entirely basics other than that one Starmie, so there's really no reason that she should take a mulligan. I believe, let me think here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think she plays like 13 or 14 basic Pokemon, so there's really no chance of her getting a mulligan. I do get my basic, and placing my prize cards down now. Erica will be going first. I believe she took her mulligan and drew for turn, so we see a fire attachment. Ultra Ball, she's going to get, well, hopefully she's got something to Kiawe onto, but if not, she'll just have to get a Volcanion or, yep, a Ho-Oh. So maybe she has, oh, she has the Lele as well. So look at that, she's got everything she needs. The start of the game, just like last game, she gets the Kiawe, gets the 4 energies. Her Ho-Oh is ready to go. Now, of course, she will have to get her baby Volcanion out of the active next turn, but that should not be too much of an issue with either an energy attachment or a float stone. We do see that Aether Paradise Conservation area coming down on my side, so it's going to reduce her damage, and that's really a big difference maker in this match as well. You know, with Ho-Oh hitting 180, if I can drop him down to 150, that can really put myself in a good spot. So I believe I actually got my Bridget first turn this time, 2 Grubbins and a Tapu Bulu coming down. Looking like a good start. We also have an Oranguru on the bench, so we have our draw support, we have our attacker, we have our energy support, so we're in a great spot. Really no issues so far in this matchup for either side, and I may just pass. Oh no, I do get an energy attachment. It is a grass, which is great. I can actually start attacking with that if I choose to, and it looks like I see a Choice Band, maybe a Fury Belt, and Lightning Energy. So I think I'm trying to decide which one would be the best option. And I attach a Choice Band, I believe, to the Coco. Drew with Instruct and passed. So Erica draws for turn. She gets a Volcanion, which is great for her. We see an energy attachment, and it looks like she was debating whether or not to put that on the active and retreat or to put it on the Volcanion. She ends us both, bring us both to a new card of 6, or new hand of 6 rather, excuse me. And we'll see if she can get some more Volks down. Perhaps this game she'll get her Staryu down so that she can get that Starmie line up and running and be able to cycle through her energies much easier than she did the last game. And I can't remember, I think she may have 1 or 2 energy in the discard, so she could use that Power Heater attack to set up some more energy. And there's her Staryu. So what's great with Staryu is 2 things. 1, it obviously gets you the Starmie line. And, okay, she got another Volk down as well. So with the Staryu, you get the Starmie line, obviously. And then on top of that, it's a free retreater in case something gets knocked out, and you can set up from the bench and pull back whenever you're ready. Unless, of course, it does evolve into Starmie. So I drew for turn. Erica's side of the field just looking stacked right now. She's got 1 attacker all built up, another one almost ready. She's just ready to go. Looks like an Ultra Ball away a Coco GX and a Lele maybe. And we do get a Charge-a-Bug, so I can start getting that set up. And then really the goal in this deck is to get a turn 2 Vikavolt. If we can get turn 2 Vikavolt, we'll be attacking, and we'll just be ready to go the rest of the game. Just keep cycling through attacks over and over and over. We haven't seen that happen so far. However, at least this game we're doing much better at getting things started. I think there I'm voicing my frustration about it. I do feel blower away the Fighting Fury Belt and the Brooklet Hill, which at this point, you know, her bench is already set, so she doesn't really need the Brooklet Hill too much. It was a Choice Band onto the Charge-a-Bug, so I could use Instruct for 1 more card. Alright, and I do pass. So let's see if Erica can maybe bring something out and start swinging. If she finds a Guzma, she could take down my Bulu that's already built up a little bit, but she chooses to second more, drawing 7 new cards. I believe she had an empty hand with that as well. So let's see what she has. She's going to Steam Up once, Steam Up twice, doing an additional 60 damage. And so I believe she'll actually take a KO. Yep, she's taking a KO on that Coco, doing 80 damage this turn. She already had 30 on it from last turn. And I do choose to bring my... Oh, no, I don't. I slide the Grubbin up there. I'm not quite ready to attack with Bulu yet. I really want to use Bulu to get some big KOs. I need to take down the Ho-Oh, and I need to do it fast. So there we Sycamore, Ohea, Lightning Energy, Pokemon Fan Club, and Energy Recycler. 3 fairly important cards in this deck, mostly the Energy Recycler. So we do see the Vikavolt coming down. We're able to Strong Charge. Where do we put those energy? We get 1 Grass and 1 Lightning. And having a little bit of difficulty shuffling back in there, but that's okay. So I imagine I'm going to put 1 of the Grass onto Tapu Bulu, and perhaps the Lightning on the Vikavolt. Yep, that way I have Vikavolt as an alternate attacker, and as I mentioned before, it does hit weakness on Ho-Oh, so it can take a one-shot against Ho-Oh, which would just be fantastic in this matchup. I do play a Nest Ball. Do I get another Oranguru? Nope, I get a Bulu. Of course, I do need more than 1 Bulu set up, I guess. So I get that Bulu. My bench is full once again. I have a main attacker. I have a secondary attacker that can also be ready to go next turn. So Erica has to decide which one she wants to take out if she chooses to take one. So I do pass. let's see what she gets. She will be able to take a KO on the Grubbin as long as she can get an energy for Steam Up. And she has 11 energy on the field, which is just insane. She Guzmas, and she chooses to take down the Vikavolt, which is that is a great move for two reasons. One, she's getting rid of my support. So she does 160 with a Steam Up. So she's getting rid of my support, and she's also getting rid of a secondary attacker that can one-shot her biggest attacker. So really a solid play by Erica there. We do see a Skyla on my side, perhaps getting a rare candy or a heavy ball to be able to get the Vikavolt out. It is a rare candy, and we have the heavy ball in hand. We grab Vikavolt, and we have our support back online. However, her taking that KO was a great KO because now instead of having two out there charging up each turn, I only have one. She got rid of the energy that was attached to it. So she did slow me down a bit. I still get my Bulu up and running on the bench, so I now have two Tapu Bulu fully charged with energy, so if one gets KO'd, the other one can just come up and take out whatever took the first one. So I am going to be able to take a KO on her active Volcanion this turn, which is fantastic, bringing us both even at 4 apiece. I decide to instruct for 1 and perfect draw the Aether Paradise Conservation Area. So if she does bring up Ho-Oh, it cannot take a one-shot on me. She slides that Staryu up because, as I said, she does get free retreat. And let's see what she grabs here. She does get a Fire Energy. She chooses to Steam Up, which is great. That nullifies the Aether Paradise Conservation Area with that additional 30 damage, which is just fantastic. Good play once again. And let's see what she does. She laid down a Lele. She's digging for a supporter, trying to decide what she's going to do. If she has it, she would be smart to go for a Guzma, taking out that benched Bulu that's all set up. And she does. Oh my goodness. So she's going to be up in the prize trade. She'll have 2 left over. I have 4, I believe. And she's taken all my energy off the field, just making solid plays these past few turns. So she takes the KO because she's doing 210. Of course, Aether Paradise Conservation Area is in play, so only 180, but still the perfect number. I get the Fury Belt, I get a Grass Attachment, and I use Brock's Grit so that I will have energy in my deck to use Strong Charge. Again, pretty solid play if I do say so myself. And what's going to happen here is when I do this, I will be able to hit for 190 damage perfectly. I grab just a bunch of energy, put them back into my deck so I can keep Strong Charging for the next few turns. So attaching that Fighting Fury Belt was great because not only do I have Aether Paradise Conservation Area reducing her attacks, but I now have an additional 40 HP, so she essentially has to do 70 more damage with her attacks, which of course with only one Volcanion out right now, it is impossible to do that. So there we have the energy attachments. We have a Heavy Ball, digging through my deck just to see what I have, and nope, nothing in there I can get. Yeah, because I didn't put the Bulu back with Brock's Grit. So I do instruct for 2 cards, and I hit for the perfect 190, discarding my energy, going down to 2 prizes. We're now at 2 prizes apiece. And guys, just a heads up, pretty soon is going to be whenever the camera cuts off, so I do apologize for that greatly. We're trying to do our best to have enough battery to do this, but sometimes we just miss it, so just a heads up. And of course, I will give you the results of the match when it is applicable. So now she ends us both down to 2. She's searching her deck, perhaps for some energy to... she might use her Power Heater Volcanion just to do a little bit of damage. Probably not. She'll probably just Steam Up. Oh, nope, she does choose to do that. Okay, so now what she's doing, she's not trying to do damage to me, she's just trying to set up her Lele. She attaches 2 energy. And actually, I think that was something she is not supposed to do. I'm going to look up Volcanion and see how it reads again. Because I don't believe it can go to Fire Pokemon, and I don't believe you can put both. Oh, no, it can go to any Pokemon. But you have to attach a Fire Energy card from your discard pile to each of 2 different Pokemon. So, little misplay on her part. We'll see if that makes a difference. If it does, then of course that'll be an issue, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm getting my Strong Charge set up here, a Grass and a Lightning Energy. I imagine I have another Grass in hand, so I will be able to take a KO on this Bulu. However, what I'm needing is actually a Guzma. If I can get a Guzma and perhaps retreat into something over the next couple turns, I can take a KO on something. So I choose to pass there. I'm sorry, I do 40 damage with the first attack there. I believe it's Horn Attack. And she Sycamore. She draws 7 new cards. Let's see what she gets here. She does get that Starmie and Brooklet Hill. So she can get another Volcanion out. Oh, there it is. So she's going to be able to steam up twice, adding an additional 60, doing 190 with her Volk. However, I have 220 HP on that active Bulu, out of one-shot range. Okay, so she attaches an energy to her Starmie and to her Volk. I draw a card for turn. Okay, guys, that's where it ends. So, results of the last match. I kid you not, I did get the Guzma that turn, or it was either that turn or the turn after. Got the Guzma, was able to bring up a Lele or Volk, something like that. Took my final 2 prizes. So it did go in favor of Bulu. Bulu did take game 2 as well as game 1. So it's now Bulu 2, Volcanion 0. So the 2 energies on Lele didn't make a difference. Now we're going into round 3. As I mentioned previously, we accidentally switched sides. We had filmed this at different occasions, and I am actually on the right-hand side with Tapu Bulu now. Erica is on the left-hand side with Volcanion. And again, I think I give up another mulligan. So I'm pretty good at that at this point. And yeah, so I think we're ready to go. We have 2 Volks on Erica's side. She draws the mulligan. She draws her card for turn. She has 3 Volcanions up, so she can steam up 3 times per turn. She gets her cards there to dig through for a max elixir. She attaches to the baby Volk. All I have out is my Grubbin, and if I don't get something else, that's pretty much game for me. So we'll see if I can make something happen out of nothing. Let's see, we have a Kiawe, and she'll put it onto that active Volcanion. Not the best thing that she would want. You would prefer to have a Ho-Oh out or a Turtonator and be able to Kiawe onto them, doing some additional damage. And I actually just realized we haven't really seen Turtonator. I mean, he showed up, but he didn't do any damage or anything. Didn't get to see him attack. So I think the star of her deck is actually Ho-Oh, and of course Volcanion as support. So now we go into my turn. I have a Tapu Lele. I'm gonna get my Bridget for turn 1 and get a couple Bulus and perhaps a Grubbin, or no, probably a Grubbin, a Bulu, and a Rangaroo, so I can have some sort of additional draw support. Yep, and that's exactly what we get. And of course, I always like to have 2 Grubbins out because there's a strong chance, no matter what you're playing against, one of them is going to get knocked out if your opponent chooses. And if you don't have a second one ready for a Vikavolt, then I mean, you've kind of wasted a turn. So that's why we always make sure to have 2. We attach a lightning energy to it, and we pass. So a decent setup, not the best. We would have preferred to have a grass energy for Bulu, but that's okay. Erica does get an attachment to her bench Volcanion. And we see a Tapu Lele come down. I think she might be going for a Guzma, but we will see. Actually, Guzma probably wouldn't help her too much in this match unless she wants to bring up her baby Volk and hit the Grubbin on the bench, just to start weakening it a bit and to set up her other Volks as well. But I don't think she has any energy in her discard, yeah. So she does grab an N there. It's going to bring us both to a new hand of 6. And she just totally got me. I had a Rare Candy and a Skyla, or I'm sorry, I had a Skyla and a Vikavolt there, ready for my turn 2 Vikavolt, and she took it from me. Totally took it from me with that N. So we're still seeing N ruin friendships and bring L's to people. So let's see what we both get with our fresh hands of 6. Looks like we see an Ultra Ball on Erica's side, a Sycamore. I think I saw a Pokemon in there as well. She still does have 1 bench space. We see a Brooklet Hill come down, and she's going to, I imagine, grab a Volcanion, which is interesting here. So she hasn't put down a Ho-Oh or a Turtonator. She is going all in on Volcanion. Okay, so we see a Staryu. See, she's getting this right these past two games, because remember the first game she did not get her Starmie up, and it really was detrimental. So getting that Starmie up is actually pretty critical. And on the other hand, getting it out of there is actually pretty helpful too for your opponent. You know, if we can get rid of the Starmie, she loses her support. So she does take down the Grubbin. I pull Bulu to the active, and let's see. Of course, I don't think I have my Vikavolt ready this turn, because as we saw, she took away my resources for that. I Sycamore away. Oh man, Guzma, Skyla, Brock, she gives us the thumbs up. So I'm just digging for that rare candy Vikavolt, and I think at this point I know if I don't get it, then that could be game. So let's see. I think I see a Vikavolt, but I don't see the rare candy, which really just kind of ruins your day. So I do 30 damage with Horn Attack to her active, which is actually relevant, because if I do get to attack, I don't have to get rid of my energy if I have a Choice Band, or if I just choose to use my GX to take it down. So we'll see. She does Ultra Ball away a Fire Energy and a Volcanion. I imagine she's going to get her Starmie so that she can... Yep, she gets her Starmie. She can start getting energy back out of her discard pile, so that she can steam up. So definitely a relevant Pokemon in that deck. And we see an N, which I'm sure I'm grateful for at that point, because I was not too happy with my hand. So let's see if she can keep up this momentum. Perhaps getting a Float Stone to get her Volcanion out of the active and start swinging with her Baby Volk. Alright, so she gets Sycamore, Ultra Ball, Fire Energy, Brooklet Hill, and a Kiawe. And of course she only gets 5 cards, because she did take a prize. She does choose to manually retreat, bringing out the Baby Volcanion, as I mentioned before. She's going to be able to get those energies right back. If she can, she should Space Beacon with Starmie. And yep, she's going to get rid of a Brooklet Hill, Space Beacon for 2 energy. And she's just going to use those to steam up. And she's laying down her steam ups in front of her Volks so that we see it. And can she get the third one to do additional damage? No, she only has the one. So 30, 60. She's going to be doing 80 with the 80 with her Baby Volcanion. And she's going to be able to attach energy to her bench, getting those set up. And I believe we see... What do we see come down? Maybe a Bulu? Nope, another Tapu Lele. Okay. Perhaps getting a Skyla. Yep, Skyla for a rare candy to be able to finally get my Vikavolt up and going. I can't remember. I think this may be like the 3rd or 4th turn, and we're just now getting Vikavolt up and running. So I will be able to take an easy KO, quote-unquote, on this Baby Volcanion. However, I mean, it still only gives us 1 prize, but it does tie us up in this game, making it a relevant KO. Do Strong Charge. The downside, though, is Erica is going to be able to respond with a KO if she can just get an energy onto her Volcanion with 2, which of course she will be able to because she has that Space Beacon with Starmie. Again, just showing the support that she has there. We do Instruct for 1. And actually what I could do is use my GX attack. But I don't. If I would have used my GX attack, I actually could have survived this turn. I would have healed off all the damage, still taken the KO. But I chose not to. I didn't count on the steam ups here. I was just counting on the base 130, which would put me at 210. But I totally missed the math there. Totally forgot about Space Beacon. And so she does take the KO there on my Fury Belted Bulu because of 80 damage she did with a Baby Volcanion, putting in some work for sure. And now I'm just debating, you know, what am I going to sacrifice or potentially attack with? So I put Vikavolt up there. We do use the Energy Recycler, getting back, I believe it's just 3 energy this time around, the energy that was attached to my Tapu Bulu, putting it back into my deck to be able to potentially do something in the future with it. And at this point in the game, I mean, everything's looking very, very one-sided. We do get a Guzma. We're able to bring up the bench Volcanion. So we may be able to take a KO here. We instruct for 1, and I think what we were going for was a grass energy. If we got a grass energy, then we could have actually taken a KO on this active, but we didn't. We got a lightning energy. We are going to strong charge, grabbing a grass and a lightning. Really disappointing there to miss that. I mean, it was definitely a shot in the dark. If we would have left our Vikavolt in the active, we actually could have done substantial damage. So we do see a switch. She is gonna be able to steam up twice, doing 190 damage. Taking the KO once again. I believe that brings her down to just having 1 prize card left. So we do see a steam up there, doing 190, and taking the KO. So Erica's now down to 1 prize. I am down to 5. Still just working my way back. If I can get a choice band, I can actually take a KO on the active. I feel blow away the Brooklet Hill, trying to instruct for a few cards, and I don't think I get the choice band here. Choice band would have been very relevant. However, with Space Beacon around, she still would have followed up with a KO on the Vikavolt, and the way she is nonchalantly shuffling her cards there just kind of shows you, and I concede. There is no way for me to get out of that. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this match. Be sure to check out those deck profiles down in the description. We'll see you next time here in the deck box, where we want to know what is in your box. Thanks guys. Have a great night.